Welcome back to my Editor-in-Chief desk, where I help you live and work like a writer. Starting writing without an idea is a bit different than starting writing without a point. I think there are a lot of benefits of starting writing without an idea, but starting writing without a point can lead to some frustration. So I'm going to talk about that first. Starting writing without a point happens when you have an idea of what you want to write about, but you don't know what the point is. So when you have a topic in mind, but you don't know what the point of your article is, why you're writing in the first place, that can lead to writer's block, or it could lead to very unorganized content that is difficult for a reader to read, especially if you do not have editing skills that will eventually refine that article into something that is reader friendly. So that's what happens when you start writing without a point. That happens to me. It still happens to me. It happens when I create videos. It happens when I write, even though I know better. If I ever get into writing mode, if I ever sit down to write something and only have an idea in mind but not the point, I will get blocked and I will get frustrated. And I've completed many articles. But if I make this mistake, because it just sort of happens sometimes, it will lead to those frustrations of either a really messy draft that I have to be very careful about when I edit, and even that draft would be sort of like walking through honey to create in the first place, or I'm just straight up blocked and I'm staring at the screen or my notepad and I'm frustrated. So that's what happens when you start writing without a point. But writing without an idea can be very freeing. And I do think it is one key to go from, hey, I don't write much, I don't write regularly, to writing regularly and developing a writing practice one day at a time. So starting writing without an idea is even before the topic comes to mind, or a clear topic comes to mind. It's when you sit down to write, or you start writing in your head while you're out for a walk, something like that, and you just sort of see where things go. You're not going to get frustrated because you don't really have a goal at this point. This is very early on in your writing, or you could even use it if you're a more advanced writer who just wants to strengthen their creativity muscles. It's taking the pressure off yourself, whether you are a brand new writer or an experienced writer, and just saying, hey, let's see where my mind wanders. Doesn't have to be anywhere near perfect. It doesn't have to be cohesive, but let's just start writing, because writing is building. Whether you've never written anything before or you've written for 20 years, writing is building. It's taking ideas and putting them next to each other and on top of each other until you have a structure. And it's much less precise than building, because I imagine when you're actually physically building something, you have to measure things and you have to be accurate. But creativity is messy, so you have the freedom of this building without having to be precise to start, because the editing and the polishing comes later. So I would recommend, if you're either looking to increase your creativity or you don't write regularly yet and you're looking to get started, free up the space in your mind, take pressure off of yourself, and just start writing without an idea of what you want to write about. You can start with what you were feeling when you woke up in the morning, sort of like a journal prompt. Or if you're a little further along, sometimes we start with the middle or the end of an article. We come up with what we want to say in the middle of an article, or we come up with what we want to say at the end of the article. And sometimes we don't start writing right away because, oh, well, I don't know what the beginning is going to be like, so I'll get to the middle or I'll get to the end when I get there. But I say start in the middle or start at the end. That's sort of starting without an idea. It's just starting from where you are. And it can be really helpful to just dive in writing, explore that ending of the article, because as you're working, you will work backwards and do the middle if you haven't done the middle yet, and eventually get to the beginning. But it's much easier to start with the idea that is in the top of your mind, the thing that comes most easily to you, and then explore until it is complete. So start with what is easy when you are building out your piece of writing. It's so much easier than trying to get everything perfect by starting at the beginning or starting with a complete idea. And once you get in the practice of this, then yes, eventually you will want to make sure you have a point when you start writing. But this is just in the way earlier stages of, hey, let's just get something down. Let's just start writing, because we all have to start there. So let me know how you start writing. Do you start writing without a point? Does it work out for you? Do you start writing without an idea? What is your process when going from, hey, I'm not writing anything, to, hey, I'm sitting down and writing right now? Let me know in the comments, and give this video a thumbs up to help other writers find it. Subscribe and ring my bell so that you never miss a video for free, or you can thumbs down and unsubscribe. If you're still with me, I will talk with you soon.